What's up, nerds? It's Zach the Goblin here. Let's be honest for a second. Everyone likes slop content, and everyone likes Primarchs. So I figure, why not combine the two? So in this video, I'm going to rank the Primarchs on the autism spectrum. This video was sparked from a throwaway line I had in a video which definitely got a reaction, and that was just about one Primarch. So I figured, why not stir the pot a little and do it for all the Primarchs? But first, a quick disclaimer. I am not a doctor, and I am not literally diagnosing any of these fictional characters, nor am I being disparaging to actual autistic people in any way. Everything I say is for jokes and should not be taken seriously. Although, I am right 100% of the time. Well, with that out of the way, let's get to it. So this is the spectrum that we're working with here. I am going to be going in order, but first I'm going to say that the 2nd and 12th Primarchs won't be making it on this list as they are essentially non-existent, so I have nothing to really go off of. So let's start with the Primarch that was the catalyst for this entire video, Lionel Jonson, Primarch of the Dark Angels. The Lion is easily one of my favorite characters in 40k. Definitely my favorite Primarch. While he has the strongest Primarch aura out of everyone, he is also noted in several books to have a hard time actually connecting with the people around him. He has a hard time actually reading people, and in the book Fallen Angels, he can't tell if people are lying to him or not, so he asks the Astartes Nemiel for help. Mind you, Nemiel is surprised because to him, it was very obvious. Also in the same book, he can't tell that his brother Perturabo is bullshitting him directly to his face. On the flip side, the Lion's hyperfixation is all things martial combat. From conducting military campaigns to actual combat, the Primarchs that can match him are few and far between. So, due to all that, I'm going to place him all the way over here. He is truly ascendant. Next is Fulgrim, Primarch of the Emperor's Children. Fulgrim is a sexual deviant for sure, a freak, a gooner if you will, but I wouldn't necessarily say autistic. He doesn't really have any issues connecting with people. Some might say he connects with his men a little too much. I'm looking at you, pair of anguish. So I'm just gonna go off vibes for this one, which, heads up, is gonna be the case for a lot of these, and I'm going to place him right about here. Perturabo, Primarch of the Iron Warriors. Okay, Perturabo is special because I feel like he is too good at siegecraft to not be on the spectrum somewhere. I mean, he was really the only thing keeping the Traitor Marines going at a certain point. And that being said, I think most people would place him with Rogal Dorn, as they are usually spoken about together and are almost like two sides of the same coin. But I'm gonna be a maverick here. Probably surprisingly, I think Perturabo is actually lower on the spectrum than Rogal Dorn, and I think he belongs right about here. Now we are on Jaghatai Khan, Primarch of the White Scars. Jaghatai Khan is one of the most reasonable and level-headed Primarchs. He kind of just sees everything for what it is. The Emperor was actually surprised that Jaghatai stayed loyal during the heresy, since the Khan never really liked him, seeing him as just another tyrant. But he was also smart enough to know that if he didn't follow, his entire planet would have been destroyed. But also he likes to go really fast, so I'm gonna put him right here. Next is Leman Russ, Primarch of the Space Wolves. On first instinct, I was gonna put him pretty low on the spectrum, but then I started thinking about it. The Space Wolves are cool space Vikings, right? But on the flip side, they are also low-key borderline furries, yeah? And while not all autistic people are furries, I think that most furries are probably autistic. No judgment here, of course. But that is really my only reason to place him high, so I'm gonna put him right here next to Purdy. Next up, we have Rogal Dorn, Primarch of the Imperial Fists. This one feels pretty cut and dry, and out of all of them, I think this is the one I'm least likely to get flack for. My man is simply way too good at fortifying to not be autistic. Also, he is a straight shooter and no nonsense to a fault. And while some people would say that just means he is duty driven, and while I would say that all of that is true, I would also say that maybe there is a little of not understanding social cues in there, causing him to be so direct with everything. So I'm gonna put him over here, second to only the Lion himself. And I'm just saying, with Rogal Dorn and Lionel Jonson so high on the spectrum, it's looking like a pretty good day to be an autistic person, if I do say so myself. Now we land on Konrad Curze, Primarch of the Night Lords. Curze is, how do I say this gently? Curze is batshit insane. So insane, in fact, that even if he was autistic, it is completely overshadowed by being such a schizo. He goes super overboard. I mean, he once tortured a grieving widow to death because she was going to commit suicide, saying that he was saving her and the world for doing so. So there's actually a special place for him. He gets banished to the mega gay zone.
Fuck out of here and go to the...
Now we have Sanguinius, Primarch of the Blood Angels. Good old Sangi of the Blood Angels is a Primarch that is seemingly good at everything. With that being said though, I don't really get on the spectrum vibes from him. Gay vampire coded? Most certainly. Emo? Sure. I mean, he would get a little emotional and dye his hair black from time to time. But like, who didn't have a little emo phase? Am I right, guys? So I think he belongs about here. Ferrus Manus, Primarch of the Iron Hands. I don't really know anything about him, other than he liked making shit and he got decapitated by Fulgrim. So unfortunately, I don't really feel like I can place him, so I'm gonna put him over here. We have arrived at Angron, Primarch of the World Eaters. Angron is actually a special case. If he never had the butcher's nails implanted into his brain, he was supposed to be something of an ironically calming presence to those around him. But unfortunately, his baseline mental state is only speculation because a world where Angron wasn't low-key lobotomized isn't the world we live in. So all we have is the perpetually angry psycho that is Angron. So unfortunately, you know what we have to do to him.
Fuck out of here and go to the...
Now we have Roboute Guilliman, Primarch of the Ultramarines. Roboute Guilliman is going to be a controversial one, I think. Bobby G is a logistical genius, but I don't know, on vibes, he just doesn't feel autistic to me. But I know he's one of the Primarchs that people are usually like, oh no, yeah, he is totally autistic. And I don't want people busting down my door, so I'm going to compromise and I'm going to put him smack dab in the middle. Mortarion, Primarch of the Death Guard. Mortarion just lacks good personal hygiene, but that doesn't make him autistic. What is a little suspicious though is his hyper focus on all things poisons and toxins. So while I think he is on the low end, I think there is a dash of the tism in there, so I'm gonna put him right here just past quirky. Now we have Magnus the Red, Primarch of the Thousand Suns. Magnus feels like he would really like trains, or would know everything about whales or some shit. I guess what I'm saying is Magnus is hyperfixation incarnate. His hyperfixation is knowledge itself, so he is definitely up there. I'm gonna put him here. Next up is Horus Lupercal, Primarch of the Sons of Horus. This one was surprisingly easy for me. I think he is really low on the spectrum. Does he have daddy issues? Yeah. Was he easily manipulated by chaos? Also yes. Is he bald? Of course. But high on the spectrum, I would say not. I don't really have much more justification. I just feel it in my heart. So I'm gonna put him pretty low here. Now we have Lorgar, Primarch of the Word Bearers. So Lorgar was more of the same. When I looked at this list, I just inherently knew where to put him. I'm sure I could come up with actual good reasons and all that, but I feel it so strongly that I don't believe I need to. He goes here. Vulkan, Primarch of the Salamanders. I would say that Vulkan is on the opposite pole from the Lion. He just seems the most like an average neurotypical person. Well, as normal as someone who is essentially a demigod and unkillable can be. So this was another easy placement for me, and Vulkan goes all the way over here. Now, Corvus Corax, Primarch of the Raven Guard. So this one took some thought for me. I honestly don't know as much about him compared to a lot of the other Primarchs, and initially I was gonna put him low because of this. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized that anyone with a super obvious motif just can't be neurotypical. The whole Raven and Birds thing added some points to his score and landed him here. And finally, we have Alpharius and Omegon, Primarchs of the Alpha Legion. For this last one, we got a 2-for-1 special with the twin Primarchs of the Alpha Legion. Because they're noted as sharing one soul, I'm just gonna treat them as one person and assume that they land at the exact same spot. They are notoriously super mysterious and secretive, so this one will mostly be vibes. There is something about the I am Alpharius meme that makes me want to put them here. So there we have it, all the Primarchs placed on the autism spectrum. Again, none of this is serious, and if you disagree with any of my rankings, let me know why in the comments down below. Let me know if you'd be interested in more slot videos like this. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching the video. Goblin out.